And I'm going to turn this input output button off right here so we can get a little more room and see that better. You got 20 clips, I think, if you're working in Suite, but I know that's how many you have in Live 8, the full version. So there's 20 clips to work with. It's quite a lot of variety. But this is going to be really basic. I'm just going to rename it to quarters, because that's basically what it is. Fourths. And I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste over here. Just got to make sure that you see that little cursor kind of move. You see it moving out. That cursor, you don't want to like paste anything wherever it stops. Disregard that. It'll jump back to wherever you have it selected anyways. You can see like this little orange arrow is kind of like the starting point for every time you hit play. You can see it keep starting over there. And also, it's the insert point for wherever you want to paste things in. So if you want to paste things in, make sure you don't paste on the wrong track like I just did. You want to delete that, get rid of that. Put it back on the right track, the beat one, where the drum set's on. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to paste in 4 measures worth. That's all I'm going to do for now. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to move this looping section. See this looping section? This is your loop section right here. Slide that over there. Another way to do it, I'm going to slide it back over here just to demonstrate. You can select all this, make sure you have all that selected, nothing more, nothing less than you want to loop. And all you do is hit Control L, and it'll move that section, and it'll turn this button on right up here. That's Control L, and that'll help you loop all that. Right now it's looping it in live mode. Whenever you're building stuff in live mode, it disables everything on that channel in the arrangement mode. There's a big conflict, it seems like, between the live and arrangement view. If you're new to Ableton, there's a lot of problems and nuisances that pop up that'll mess with you, that you just can't seem to figure out why it's not working. It'll drive you nuts. You've got to here's the master stop for all live clips, and I'm just gonna do this to demonstrate. You see it's playing now. I'm going to hit that right at the beginning of a measure, and you could see those green stop lights or stop things blinking until it stopped basically. And I'm gonna do that again, start those up, and then I'm gonna hit stop, and you can see them blink, and then boom, they're gone, they're off. And let's see, whenever you turn those off and you still can't hear anything in arrangement view, that's because this button's on. This button is a constant notification that you always need to keep an eye on when you're going back and forth between the two views. This, when it turns purple, that indicates that whatever you're doing in the live view is different than what's going on in the arrangement view. And whatever you're doing in the live view is always going to cancel out what's on that channel in the arrangement view, no matter what clip it is or anything like that. So you have to either hit F10 or you have to turn that off, and then it'll go back to the arrangement view. Well, the arrangement view settings, like how everything is over there. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy that, Control C, and then I'm going to paste it over here, Control V, Control V, Control V, and Control V. Remember that. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. It'll save a lot of time. The way I'm going to expand this channel is this little level. You can see a minimized level right over here. There's our left and right. And when I hit play, you can see it jump. When I expand it, that minimized level kind of turns into the volume cap. And I can drag the channel bigger by doing that. Now I can see what's on my track. Then I can minimize it again if I need more space by just clicking right there on the very top part of that volume meter. Do it for that one too. Don't even need this MIDI track at this point, so we're just working with this one and this one. So I've got those two. They're looping. They're on a loop. got it on overdub. This overdub option is nice. When you hit record, it won't record over any of the new stuff. Not necessarily. It'll mash it all into one big track. Yeah, and it is looping, which could cause little problems depending on what you're trying to do. But the nice thing about this is that if you wanted to change the automation as you go, you can change the automation as it's looping, and it'll save that automation. But I'm not going to mess with that too much. I'm just going to hit stop. I'm going to go to undo. It recorded it like 4 times. I hit undo like 4 or 5 times. It's Control Z. It's a good one to know too. Control F is this follow option. If you ever happen to lose, like let's say I'm digging really deep in here, like there's measures, there's the quarter notes, and then there's the eighth notes. If you see what I'm talking about, each new number that pops up is just a new it's like a new dividation of the measure. Let's say I'm in here like really far though, and I'm messing with something, you know, like maybe I accidentally click over here and it's like, ah shit, where'd my fucking thing go? So you hit play, and as long as you hit Control F, it'll follow that. Like when you hit Control F, that's when you lose it. Hit Control F, it'll follow it as it goes. And that's really nice to have. I've lost my place quite a few times, and that was like a lifesaver. Let's see. So there's basic pattern. It's simpler. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm just going to make like kind of like a deep wobble to demonstrate that. What I did is I turned this filter on. It's a frequency filter. I'm going to turn it down to about 200 hertz. It's a good frequency, and I'm going to make it resonate more, a lot more. And then I'm going to turn the LFO on. The LFO is basically what makes it wobble. There's the amount. The filter, the LFO filter. There's a type. You're going to want that sine wave. And it's going to be wobbling for every quarter note. Now I'm going to hit play. I don't know if you can really hear that. It sounds terrible through the speakers. But yeah, basic idea. But how you do that. But pretty much just to get started, all you really need to know is how to drag any kit from any of these. Make sure it's a kit and not just like a part of a kit, or else it'll only put one sound on like a whole track, and you can't really add new things to it, I don't think. I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that, but because I get the live light nuisances mixed up with the live full 8. But yeah, pretty much if you know how to drag a drum kit over to a new track, that's good. It's good to know. If you know how to double click one of these rectangles and make new MIDI clips, then you're good to go. You can change the color of these too if it helps. That's what those colors are for. And you just basically go through here and you can create like 8, 9, 10, 20 different patterns, and then just lay them out in different sequences in here with everything else, and see how that sounds. And let's see. So yeah, I mean that's really about it at this point. I like to use audio tracks for sound samples and shit like that. I'll get rid of this MIDI track. There's the audio track right there. And you can do the same thing with the banks, except you're not really making these samples unless you've already made them. I mean, you just drag these like sound samples over to here, and you can open each one and see the details on it. And you play the different ones and everything, go through them, see how they sound. That's for like sound samples, like quotes that you like, or just things like that. For like the rhythmic sound samples, wave, audio samples, those you want to use this impulse. Like I said earlier, that'll let you put the wave files right on those individual beats, and you can manipulate each one individually to get that specific sound that you want out of each sample, which is really, really nice. Once again, gotta click this thing off. It likes to go off on its own, it has a mind of its own. This thing is like a constant reminder. You always gotta click it off when you're going between like the live and arrangement views. I mean, if you just hit the button, like hit F10, it'll stop everything going live all at once. But if you actually want, like if you don't want that, you can hit like the master stop clips and it'll do that. And then that of course brings that back up, and it's a big issue, this button right here, F10. It'll always mess things up. Like if you're trying to hear something in this view and you just can't get it to work, you can't get the sound to work, either you've got this button on and it's not supposed to be on because that cut the beat out, obviously. You gotta put that on auto. You only want this on in if you're using a device, like an external device, to record things. If you're just doing things in like the piano roll, like this, then you want it on auto. But that's how you lay things out in here. That's how you make like a basic drum pattern. Hopefully the navigation helped. There's so many more features. If you have any questions, you know how to find me, just ask me, and I'll make some more videos when I have the time. And I think that's about it.